So as a naturopathic doctor and a registered acupuncturist, I get this question all of the time. How far does the needle actually go in? Let's see if those come into focus. And the answer is, it totally depends on what I'm working on and where I'm working. There's a lot of people who have a fear of needles, and if I'm working just on something like anxiety, especially for younger patients, I use these little stick-on needles. See how small this needle is? It's so small next to my pinky finger, I'm not even sure if it's going to come into focus. It's about the size of a mosquito's, there, I just got a glimpse of it. About the size of a mosquito's nose. I use those needles all the time when I'm dealing for anxiety for kids, ADHD, and I use them a lot for adults when I'm using for treatments for wrinkle reduction on the face. The majority of the times I'm using needles like this. And even this needle, which is about 1 centimeter long, it's only going in maybe half of that amount. A lot of the times it's going just into the skin. And as you can see, comparing this needle with the needles that you get from an injection, these are so skinny, I could probably fit 10 of these inside of the needles. That's how narrow they are. So a lot of times people will be coming for their first acupuncture and they're like, well, what does it feel like? And I'll say, well, we've already been doing it. You already have 5 needles in, and then they don't even realize it. So a lot of times you can't even feel the needle at all. And then in certain situations, you can see this one. This is a bigger one. So compare that to the size of my finger. This is a 75 millimeter needle. Even then, it wouldn't be going in all the way. But when you're dealing with, these are only used in one area. That's basically in your hips. So if you're dealing with a case of sciatica or hip pain, and you have to get deep in around the muscles of the hip, then you're using a large needle. And the nice thing with acupuncture, it's one of the few things that can actually get into those deep muscles around the hip. And if you can release the muscles of the hip, remember that the hip is like the king muscle, the king joint of the body. And if it's off, the back will be off, the knees can be off. It is key to release those deep muscles. So just to review, we've got little tiny baby mosquito nose, 1 centimeter, 75 millimeters. So I hope that answers some of the questions that you guys have had about what does the acupuncture feel like? What do the needles look like? How far do they go in?